The Padres have been one of the best teams in Major League Baseball despite some key absences from guys like Ha-Seong Kim, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Darvish, but they're about to get them back. So we have some major injury updates to break down on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What's up, everybody? Welcome into 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and this has become a de facto Padres channel. The way that you guys have been killing it with the support, you deserve more videos, and you deserve daily Padres news. So I'm going to try to deliver that to you from now until the rest of the week. But we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. If you guys keep killing it on that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and give me your thoughts on what the Padres have been doing. I'll keep on delivering these videos. But let's get right into it, okay? So I have a couple of these guys on my fantasy team, so I've been watching out for them pretty closely. And the first one that I want to talk about is Ha-Seong Kim. So Padres manager Mike Shildt said Monday on 97.3 The Fan that Kim, with his shoulder injury, is slated to join the club in St. Louis on Tuesday. Shildt noted that Kim was scheduled to have his injured right shoulder examined again on Monday, and presuming everything looks okay, the infielder would then rejoin the club on the road. Now, it's not clear what the next step would be. Would he need a rehab assignment? Would he be able to join the team right away? Hasn't been out that long, so that's really what we're monitoring here. But he can come back as soon as Thursday, but it's uncertain if he has a shot to be back by that date. Now, this is massive for the Padres because even though Mason McCoy has done a pretty good job filling in at shortstop, Ha-Seong Kim is their guy, and he's one of the best defenders in baseball at that position, so they definitely need him back. And if you take a look at the stats here, I mean, it shows you that he is a very good defender with 4 outs above average, great range, a good arm as well, and he's a stolen base threat, something that Mason McCoy doesn't really offer in the same capacity as Ha-Seong Kim. So he's having a bit of a down year with the bat, but if you take a look at his wins above replacement, he's still having a really good season despite being a slightly below league average hitter. Now, you'd like to see some of those numbers creep up, but the 11 home runs and 22 stolen bases are nice. The 330 on base is good as well. So he's drawing walks, he's getting on base. The power leaves a little bit to be desired, but there is no doubt that Ha-Seong Kim needs to be back and needs to help the Padres in their push for the NL West division. Now, they've been good without him. They've been good without Fernando Tatis, and they've been very good without Darvish as well, because they're getting contributions from Dylan Cease, who is really looking like an ace ever since they acquired him from the Chicago White Sox. And then Jackson Merrill, you know how I feel about him. I've loved what I've seen out of Jackson Merrill lately. So they're getting contributions from a lot of guys up and down that lineup. But once Tatis rejoins, once Ha-Seong Kim rejoins, that makes the lineup so much deeper. And like, if you take a look at this, a lot of important information here in an audio clip that is less than 1 minute in length. Firstly, Darvish, elbow, has been working hard since rejoining the team. He has thrown simulated games and bullpen sessions and has just completed 3 up and down sessions and could move on to a rehab assignment or a simulated game. So that's check mark number 1 for Darvish. As for Fernando Tatis, with his thigh injury, he is back with the team and will get some live at-bats soon. He has already taken live at-bats, so this is from a couple of days ago, which will hopefully help accelerate his progress forward. And I read as well that Fernando Tatis Jr. may not need a rehab assignment. He could just join the team right away once he is cleared to go by the doctors. And finally, Ha-Seong Kim was getting examined by the team, and they are encouraged about the possibility of him rejoining the club soon. So not only have they been one of the best teams in Major League Baseball, they are set to get back 3 all-star caliber players. Now, Darvish maybe isn't the same pitcher that he was a few years back, but he's still someone that's going to eat some innings, and he's a better option than maybe some of the back-end guys that they have in their starting rotation right now. Fernando Tatis, not really a Tatis Jr.-like stat line that he's put up this year, but he's still an MVP caliber talent, and having him in the 2-hole in your lineup pushes everyone else back, and that just makes your lineup that much deeper, and that allows other guys to flourish in maybe some more secondary roles, and that'll put Jackson Merrill as most likely your number 7 hitter, and this is a guy who has been 30% better than league average over the course of the season. So yeah, maybe Tatis Jr. isn't having the same season that he would have liked to have had, but still, his insertion into the lineup allows everybody else to flourish, and I think that's the most important thing that we're looking at here. And if you take a look at this right here, Mike Schild shared encouraging updates on Darvish, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Ha-Seong Kim, including that Tatis is in Arizona and ready to get some live at-bats, while Kim should join the team in St. Louis tomorrow. So Kim did rejoin the team, but he's still not back yet. He's not eligible to be back until Thursday, so it shouldn't be too long before we see him, but still, just very encouraging updates all across the board. This is major news for the Padres, who are really looking to lock down the NL West division. They're now 4 games back of the Dodgers after their loss yesterday against the St. Louis Cardinals, walk-off hit by Nolan Arenado, but they're right there. They're right there in the mix with the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, and they're still in a wild card spot. They're pretty firmly entrenched into that, so I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to make the playoffs. But I'd like to see them win the division. That gives them a huge leg up going into the playoffs, because then you could start at home and you don't have to go through that gauntlet of a wild card series, and it's just overall better for the optics of the San Diego Padres winning the World Series, which is the pick that I made yesterday. I declared it. I put it out there on the open web, so feel free to come back and flame me when I'm wrong or if I'm wrong, but still, I'm really high on the Padres. I love what they're doing. I love all of you guys supporting these videos, so I'm going to keep making them for you, but the Padres are my team right now. I'm a Blue Jays fan, but I'm going for the Padres because I just love what they're doing over there, and I love some of the players that they have. I spoke about it a couple of days ago. I love the underdog sort of aspect that they have going about them, even though a ton of guys make money on that team and they're handing out $300 million contracts like it's candy. But hey, you got guys like Jackson Merrill who are proven to be superstars at this level in their first rookie season. It's hard to not root for a team like that. They made the right moves in the offseason. They traded away Juan Soto. That was not an easy move to make. But look who they got in return. They got Michael King, who has been an absolute godsend for them. So even though Soto is on the Yankees and he's having a career year, they're really getting contributions from the guys that came back in that trade, and it allowed them to make the subsequent moves to address some holes that they had on their roster. Right now, I don't see any holes on this roster. I saw some comments talking about Robert Suarez and his need to develop a second pitch. When you throw 100 and when you throw it like Robert Suarez does, I think you'll be all right. Their bullpen is fantastic. Their rotation is set to get even better with the addition of Darvish. We don't know what kind of role he's going to play. We don't know what kind of limitations he's going to be on. But having that veteran presence, a guy with playoff experience, it can't hurt. So even if he's limited to 4 or 5 innings an outing, I think that's a really positive thing for the Padres. And Fernando Tatis as well. What more needs to be said about him? He is an MVP candidate when he is healthy and playing the way that he's supposed to be playing. And with all this time off, with all his amount of time that he had to get right physically, I think that they are headed in the right direction. And getting him, Kim, and Darvish back, I mean, that's just everything that a Padres fan could have hoped for. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Shout out again to all you San Diego fans who have been killing it on the support with the views, the likes, the comments, the subscribe button, everything. Yeah, I could not be happier to make these Padres videos for you because you guys have been really supportive of what I'm trying to do over here. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to Baseball Town as well, who are a huge supporter of the channel. They are your one-stop shop for everything that you need baseball related, whether it's softball, baseball, cleats, bats, batting gloves, everything. They're the best equipment at the most competitive prices. So check them out today, and let's go San Diego!